I'm Hazel, it's Saturday again, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I've been up to, and answer some of your questions. This week in WoW news, we have some hotfixes to take a look at. These will not go into effect until this upcoming weekly reset, so these are not in yet, but with this upcoming week's maintenance and reset, so Tuesday NA, Wednesday EU, we will have these changes going to effect. The idea is to nerf the pain points, their words, of dungeons and raids generally. So they're targeting some of the most frustrating trash packs and bosses of Shadowlands with some well-aimed nerfs. There is a whole bunch of these. I will link the full list down below, but here are some of my personal favorites. In Plaguefall, Margrave Stradama, also known as the last boss with the smashy tentacles that makes you go from, we have 10 minutes to time this, to, oh no, not again. The adds in that fight will have 40% less health and damage, she will do less infectious rain, and the plague crash timing is changing to have, quote, a little more time between tentacle slaps. So that is a boss that I have marked as my personal nemesis, because not only do I die when I get hit by a tentacle, but I get supremely embarrassed. So part of me is almost upset that it's being nerfed because I felt like I was this close to evolving to the level needed to perform it. But then the other part of me is validated and goes, okay, maybe I'm not horrendous and this was actually like a little overly tough for a boss mechanic. Also, lots and lots of groups get stuck there, and I've seen that 10 to 15 minute time at the end of a key deplete more than a handful of times, so that's one thing. In the Necrotic Wake, there are some trash nerfs I'm excited about. There's a whole list of them, but specifically the longer cast time on Frostbolt Volley might give us a half a chance of kicking some of them, and then a lot of those adds have been kind of nerfs. So the trash packs kind of between the first and second boss, and then some of the trash between second and third should be easier. Of course, there's no trash after that. And then Amarth on Necrotic Wake has a bunch of nerfs. There's going to be reduced range that the skeletons can spawn at, so they'll appear less in the edge of the universe, less damage all around, and particularly Frostbolt Volley, which is what I find wipes us. Over in Castle Nathria, there are some tuning changes, but they are less aggressive. There is mythic tuning changes for Stone Legion Generals and Sludge Fist, so mythic Stone Legion and Sludge Fist are getting nerfed, normal, heroic, and Raid Finder are not. And then Council of Blood has some tuning for all difficulties, but it's mostly to reduce the damage of mechanics that were already pretty much avoidable, like Dreadbolt Volley, so that's going to make mistakes on Council of Blood less punishing, but a regular run should not be much different. And then separately from the dungeon and raid tuning, we also have word this week that some PvP changes are coming. Again, full list, link below, but my favorites, twos, is going to start at 20% dampening if both teams have either a healer or a tank, or presumably, heaven forbid, both. And then Fleshcraft can be used in the starting zones. This is good news for me because I forget to use it almost all of the time, so now I can forget to use it in the starting zone. And nerfs to Paladin Word of Glory healing, which may impact the amount of prot paladins running around pretending to be holy paladins and doing a remarkably good job of it. And then Druid Convoke is going to be nerfed in PvP somewhat. Also, a little editor's note, a couple more hotfix posts came sneaking in right after I recorded this. Adventure companions for Kyrians and Venthyr are being massively buffed, and then there is a bug fix for the Night Fae mission table Bramble Trap ability that apparently corrected a bug that was causing it to do too much damage. So indirectly a nerf to the Night Fae adventure table, but both Venthyr and Kyrian are seeing massive buffs to theirs, which were sorely, sorely needed. They were not even close to in line with Necrolords and Night Fae, so hopefully that helps. And Torghast layer unlocking is now going to be account-wide. With a hotfix that is now live, so you don't have to wait for this one, they have implemented a highest layer sharing system for people that want to do Torghast on their alt. So once you have completed a Torghast layer on any character, your other characters have access to it. They have noted here that that won't look back very far, so if you got through your 8 like very, very early, it's possible that those will not be unlocked on your alt right now, but if you complete a run, if you complete a Torghast 8 on your main, you should be able to access it and start doing that right away in your alt, or at least you should be able to go in, you know. Whether you can finish it is going to be up to your alt. And Twisting Corridor unlocks are separate to alt still, so that's not what this is. This is regular Torghast. Layer unlocking will now be account-wide. Of course, there are more changes, but those are the ones that I am really looking forward to. Also this week, with the Renown cap going up to 28, people are finally able to purchase their Covenant battle pets. Those become available at Renown 27. You can get them from your Covenant Renown vendor for 1,500 anima and 30 Grateful Offerings. The Grateful Offerings come from doing anima conductor related treasures and dailies and world quests and stuff. And the pets are really something. Kyrian's got Ruffle, so this is Ruffle. Ruffle will ride a mount If you mount up, Ruffle will sit. If you target him and /sit, Ruffle will talk to you. If you target him and /talk, Ruffle will be very scared. If you /roar at him, how could you? And I understand that the other Covenant pets have similar enhancements, so that's exciting. I didn't really have 1500 anima to spend, but like I had 1500 anima, I guess, so now I have no anima again. But you know, I'm not mad because Ruffle will ride along behind me with a mount and then cower when I yell at him. In my life this week, in WoW, we did not progress in Castle Nathria. We re-cleared 9 of 10 Heroic. We are still working on Heroic Denathrius, and he continues to be a very grumpy cookie. And then outside of that, I have been catching up on a couple of Shadowlands mounts, like just here and there as the urge strikes me, very, very haphazardly. I got kind of lucky this week. I just had the Predatory Plague Rock drop for me, just from killing the House of Constructs rare that Necrolords can summon. Anybody can kill it and get the mount, and the mount is rideable by anybody, but you need a Necrolord to summon the rare in the House of Constructs. So that dropped for me today after like 6 chances, not too bad. I also got the Battlebound Warhound from the Theater of Pain World Quest Elites. You get a chance from, I believe, your first kill of each of them, but at least your first kill of the first 2. Seems unclear to me. But anyways, I got that to drop for me this week as well, and that one's pretty cool. And then what else? The Foulings of Humility dropped for me from the Temple of Purity treasure. And then even though I've had a really lucky week with mounts, I've been finding a hard time finding my motivation to really start grinding through the Shadowlands ones properly, just because they come from so many different places, and some of them are Covenant locked and some of them are not, and some of them are like Covenant soft locked where like it's better if you're in the Covenant but you don't have to. Some of them are really grindy, some of them you can do it if you can just like sneak in on somebody else's grinding. It's all over the place, and I get overwhelmed when I think about it. I think I just need like a nice like color-coded table will make me feel better, and then I'll be able to pick a place to start. Questions for this week. James wants to know, any updates on your tattoo progress? Probably, yeah. I think I had a sweater over some healing stuff for the last 1 or 2, so this is where we're at. I now have 3 birds, so we have bird, and then we have bird, and then we have bird. And then now we're just kind of filling in the rest of the sleeve, because it's going to wrap all the way around the arm, so I have like a lot of empty space kind of on the back side, and we were just kind of looking at other plants and like flowers and stuff to kind of fill in and finish the sleeve, but it's coming along. I've got approximately monthly appointments set up for the time being, so we're just going to keep chipping away at it. Although now, when I go in, because we're working on the back of my arm, I've been laying on my front, which I thought would be comfier, and it's not. I might try bringing in the Hearthstone pillow, because it's like flatter. Last time I tried bringing in the well-played Hearthstone pillow, I like put it in a pillowcase, because I figured that would be like a good size to like shove under my neck so that I could lay down for a couple hours. Was way too thick. I had the worst everything after that, so I think I'm gonna try the Hearthstone pillow. I was like, I need a really weird flat pillow, and then I looked at my couch and I'm like, ooh. And then Maru wants to know, did you invest in GameStop, and if so, are you going to retire? No, I didn't invest anything. I am emotionally invested because the whole debacle's like a lot of fun to watch from the outside. But no, I'm kind of I'm not anti-investing. I know eventually that's generally a smart thing to do, but I am really averse to financial risk. I have an almost irrational fear of it. Like, I don't like watching movies and TV shows where people lose money, which is a lot of them. It's just not my thing for some reason. And then I feel like even if I did somehow get like very suddenly rich, I probably wouldn't retire. I feel like if I tried to retire, I would just get like very bored and depressed and like probably become a worse person. So I think the move would be to do something really wacky, regardless of whether or not it can make money, but like still keep working on it. So just like, I don't know, write some really trashy fantasy novels or something. And then Bruce wants to know, with Stygia and the rep with Venari getting high enough to start looking at sockets for gear, how are you planning out which gear to socket when you know later that you might be replacing it? More so with the cost being 7,200 Stygia. So I've worked this one out, and I'm not gonna buy sockets. You're going to replace the gear anyways. It doesn't matter if it's your best in slot piece. Eventually, another tier is going to come out, another patch is going to come out, another expansion is going to come out, whatever, and then you're going to replace it. And the time that you spent getting that extra, like, little bit of juice on it was only valid for the amount of time you're wearing it for, which is an unknown quantity. And even if you get, like, if you get your BIS piece on the first day of a patch, then you're getting maximum benefit out of that. But if you didn't need it to achieve your goals, yeah, I would argue that you could use, or I'm going to use my time that I could be spending farming Stygia doing anything else. I am pretty confident that I'm going to be able to achieve my patch 9.0 goals without adding any sockets to my gear. I don't think that a lack of sockets is standing in between me and something that I want to accomplish. And you just I made it through 8.3 without ever buying a socket, and that worked out great for me. So I'm just skipping the whole thing. And that has been my week. Thank you very much for watching. If you have a question that you would like answered on a news video, please leave it in the comments and include the word question to help me find it. Thank you all so much, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.